want to show error message like this on your custom Lightning Web component, then you're on the right video. Hi all, welcome to Salesforce in 5 minutes. In this video, we are going to see how can we add an error pop-up box just like a standard one using LWC. But before getting started, if you really like my videos, I request you to please subscribe to this channel. So in the previous few video, we have built a record edit form which has a pop-up. So it comes as a pop-up, it shows as a pop-up, that's fine. But now in this video, what we are going to do is we are going to build an error pop-up box, some just like a standard one. Like for an example, if I'm trying to save the record, I get a pop-up something like this. If I click on it, it disappears. If I click on it, it reappears. And if I click over on the cross, it goes away. So the same thing we are going to build using our custom LWC component. So let's move on to this. So basically, if I want to build anything like this, I have to build it inside the Lightning or the reusable record edit form itself, because the footer of the overall components stays inside this reusable record edit form. If you have followed my previous video, I will provide the link in the description. Please do follow it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. So anything that you want to add, you can add it at the in the footer itself. You have to add everything inside the error message, the dialog box, all these things you have to add it within your footer itself. So that's what we are going to do. So let's say if there is certain kind of error, only in that cases we have to show that pop-up, right? So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. Okay, let's name it as at track, at the rate track, and let's name it as is error. Okay, and by default it would be always false. Okay, now if you have followed the life cycle of LWC or lightning record edit form, what usually happens is if you submit the record, what happens is either it goes into the handle success or either it goes inside the handle error. And handle error is used to handle actually all the errors that are available, right? So I was first of all showing it this way. So what I'm going to do is whenever an error appears, I'm just going to make this variables as true. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And now I'm going to use template if within my lightning footer itself to show the error messages, right? So template if true, if there is any error, just show the message over here itself, right? Just below beside the buttons. Okay, just like if you go to this LWC component, if you even see the standard one, right? Just in the line of the cancel, save and new and save, there is this error button as well. So I have to do the same thing in this the line of the save, cancel and handle, but handle save or save, cancel and save and new button. I have to add my error messages as well. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm adding the, if there is an error, I'm adding the dialog box over here. Now inside this error, if you have been through this error or whatever it is, okay, what we need is, first of all, let's go through this error message first. If I click on it, it has a pop-up at the top, right? If you see, there is a we hit a snack, something like that text message is there at the header of the error message. So what I'm going to do is I'm first of all going to create the header of this error message. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it as a header, as I want it pop over. So that's why I'm going to add pop over. You can follow the exact things what I'm doing so that you get the exact results. Underscore header. Now my header is added, that's fine. Okay, now inside this header I want to add the text or the header to or the complete header itself, right? I've just had the header, I have not added any text to it, so I'm going to add the text to it. Okay, so I'm going to add h2, and let's say that we hit a snack, something like just like standard one, right? We will write we hit a snack inside this header. No spaces at all. Okay, so I've added the error message, that's fine, but I need to add the CSS as well. So for an example, if I hover over it, or I need to also provide the title of the header. Okay, fine. So let's add some CSS to it and let's look into it. Okay, so first of all, header will have class. Okay, let's start adding the classes that we want, and it would be slds hyphen truncate SLDS hyphen text hyphen heading, and you can underscore medium. Right now, once it is done, you have to make it float it to the left of these things, right? So SLDS hyphen float hyphen left. So now this is done. Okay, so my text would hover at the left, but I need to also add it in, as it will be acting as a body, or it will be it will be acting as a header's body. So that's why I'm going to add it within the diff, and I'm going to add the class as equals to slds hyphen media underscore underscore body. So this is done. Okay, we have added the header part of it, that is successfully done. Okay, it says it's throwing. Okay, fine, I have not imported track as well. Well, let's check it out how it is looking. Okay, still nothing is coming till this point, I think so. Let's say there is some error. Let's save it. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm getting the error message over here. Okay, till this point it's fine. I need to add more css so that it appears within the box itself. Okay, so let's go through it now. If you check out the standard one, right, what's happening is, just below the standard one we hit a snag, we have a red or the stop icon kind of thing. So I'm going to add the icon right now. Just like the standard one, I'm going to add the icon to it. Okay, so within the header, at the left side of the actual we hit a snag message, I need to add the other stuff. So I'm gonna enter, and let's add the icon. Diff. We need to add the svg as well, right? So span, and within the span I'm going to add the svg that I have. Right, class equals to, let's not add anything yet, not svg, and within the svg I have to use the svg, right? So I'm going to use xlink href equals to underscore slds hyphen slash icons slash utility hyphen sprite, and the icon is error, right? So I need to use again hyphen svg symbols dot svg hash error. Right, so once that is done, I'm going to close the use. It says a white space between the error. Okay, okay. Okay, now it looks fine. So I've added the svg and the icon that I needed. Let's check it out how it's looking. We might need to add more css to it so that it appears well. Okay, okay. Hmm. Okay, the whole icon is fitting over here. I need to give the colors and all this stuff as well. Okay, fine. Let's reload again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this svg a smaller one also. Okay, so first of all, let's make this svg small because it's covering the whole thing, right? So slds hyphen icon space slds hyphen icon, and would be x small, right? So we need a small icon. That's the way, and area length equals to true. Now I have made the icon small. That's fine. Okay, I need to convert it in the form of container. So again, I'm going to add the class to it. slds hyphen icon equals to icon. Okay, slds hyphen icon underscore container slds hyphen icon. I think so. It would be hyphen utility error icon. Okay, so this is also done. So I've added things to the span as well. Now once that is done, I have to add everything within a media figure. So I'm doing that again with using the div. So I'm using div equals to sld slds hyphen media underscore underscore figure. So I've added whole things to the media figure, and I have added it within the container with the utility icon as error. Now once that I've done, I've made this error icon as small using x hyphen small, and then once that I've done, I've added the error that I wanted to write. So let's try to deploy it and let's look into it how it's looking like. Let's click on new and let's try to save it. Okay, the icon might be coming but the color is not provided, I think so, but the icon is small now. Okay, it looks normal. Okay, let's add further css to it, other further css to all these things, and let's make it look much more better. Okay, now once that is done, what I need to do is next thing I need to do is I need to add the message as well, right? So uh, let's add a very sample kind of an error message that we have. Okay, so just below the header I need to add a div, right? Now once within this div I'm going to add a paragraph just to add my error message that I have. Okay, let's I'm going to name it as example error message because I'm going to actually bring it from the from the handle error message. Okay, so I'm going to do that actually. Okay, so this is an example error message. I'm going to add more to it. Okay, so I'm going to add a class to it, slds hyphen float underscore left slds hyphen p hyphen bottom underscore xx hyphen small, because the error message of course should be small. Okay, now once my error message is done, I have to make this within the pop-up itself. So I'm going to use class equals to slds pop over underscore underscore body, and I think so we're done. Okay, so my error message is added. Along with that I have also added the error message, and also I've added the things to it, like the css to it. Now once that is done within this template itself, my error message is done, my header is done, right? Now but if you check into it, how it appears, there's a close icon as well, right? Close error dialog box. So I have to add that crossbar over here as well. So I'm going to do that in the like right now. But to do that, what we need to do is we need to add the overall thing inside the section. Okay, in order to make it appear within the square box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a section. Let's close it just before this. I have to add everything within the section itself, so that it appears Now so that this overall section appears in the form of square or the dialog box, just like the standard one, right? Now once that I've done, I have to add some css to it. Now the css would something like be like area hyphen described by, and then let's give a dialog id hyphen 5. Now once I've done it, area labeled by, I have to add, I'm going to just copy paste the same thing, dialog, and it should be heading actually, not the body. Heading id hyphen, let's name this 2 because I'm going to give the above one something else. Let's add the class to it, and the class would be slds pop over, slds pop over underscore error, slds nubbin underscore bottom hyphen left. Okay, and then once that is done, I have to add a few style as well. So for example, style would be equals to, so that the dialog box just appears where the what we call it as the the button is, right? The save and cancel, it should just appear above it. So that's why I'm going to add some style to it. So position should be absolute, for an example absolute, and absolute semicolon, and it should be at the bottom. Let's add the rest of the stuff later on. Okay, as we will go on doing it, we will understand it much more better. Okay, now next thing what I need to do is I need to add a cross button, right? Now to do that, I have to again use a button over here. So for that purpose, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a button, and I'm going to close the button over here itself. And inside this button, I'm going to add an svg because I don't need an exact button, but I need an icon that has been provided by the Salesforce itself. So I'm going to use svg within it, and I'm going to use the same thing, use link, right? Now instead of using the error, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use close. So SLD's icon utility hyphen sprite svg symbols dot svg hyphen close. So that's done. Now within this svg again I have to add some kind of css. So class equals to slds hyphen button underscore icon area hyphen hidden to true. Okay, now svg things are added. Now to this button I need to add some kind of css, right? So I'm gonna do that again. Class equals to slds hyphen button slds hyphen button, it should be in the form of icon, so underscore icon slds, the button should be small as well, so that's why I'm going to add button underscore icon, and there should be hyphen small, and slds it should float to the right, so it should float most probably to the right. So slds float underscore right, because as you can see the button usually floats at the right, so I'm going to make it float at the right of the overall section. Okay, now once that is done, I'm going to add pop-up over close css hyphen pop over underscore close, and slds hyphen button underscore icon hyphen inverse. Now all these things are added, that's fine. Okay, but I should also add on click. So for an example, if I click on this, it goes away, right? So I have to do that on click handle, let's name it as dialog. Okay, let's deploy it and let's see how it looks like. Let's save it. Error. Okay. Now the box has started appearing. Okay, the text is appearing at the right, but we are not able to still see the icon. We need to check for that, and we are also able to see the error message. All I need to do is, let's cut it off. Okay, I need to move things at the top, so that I need to move this section a bit top so that it appears at the correct place, right? So that's what we need to do now. And I think so, yeah, that's it. That's the part on the left. So for the section, first of all, this overall thing, right, the square box itself, it's coming at the really at the bottom, right? So I need to somehow move it to the top and to the left as well, because the saving button is over here. And let's try it. Okay, so we are at the absolute position right now, and what I need to do is I need to, at the bottom, it's too much at the bottom. I need to reduce the bottom by 140 px. So I'm just going to make it as 140 px, and then I'm going to move it to left by 50 percentage, the section. Okay, I'm all these things I'm doing within the section itself, as you can see. Okay, and then transform underscore translex slakes, it's translex or transform colon translate slate x by minus 50%. Okay, you can just copy paste the same code. You can use the exact same code what I'm doing, and it would still work. Let's try to save it again. Okay, now it's coming at the correct place or not? No, it's still coming at the left, right? So I need to add more things to it. Okay, fine. Let's move on to our again to the dialog box. Looks fine. This looks fine to me. So what I've done is, inside this, everything that is needed is in the section. Area described by I've added, labeled by I've added, and then pop over SL is pop over underscore error, and then I've added the nubbin as well to the bottom left, and then I've added the style to it, which has the position as absolute, and the bottom is 140 px, left is 50%. Okay, I think so. It should have been semicolon instead of this. Okay, so it should be left is 50 percentage, and the transforms translates is 50 percentage. Okay, the button as well, it looks fine to me. Let's again deploy it and try it out. Okay, now it's appearing perfectly fine. Okay, just because of one semicolon I was messing it up. Okay, it looks fine to me now. Okay, now what I've done is header is not coming properly, so I've added the pop-up over header, and then I have added the media center. SLD is media figure, that is a media center, and I think so I need to enclose all this media center or all this div within the one div itself, so it is centered out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to add one more div over here, right, and I'm gonna enclose it at the end of this. So that's what I'm gonna do. And next I'm going to add the CSS to it. Okay, so I'm going to use class equals to slds hyphen media slds hyphen media center underscore center, and slds hyphen has hyphen flexi hyphen truncate. So truncate. Okay, that's done. But one more thing, the float left, I think so, should be underscore float left, and I should add one more over here, and also have to add one more over here. So I'm going to copy paste this code as well, but you need to watch this video to understand what's happening at the backend, or where to copy paste the code. Okay, so you need to understand that. I will copy paste the code in the description itself so that you can easily find it out, but just arrange it as per as the video so that you can easily understand and do the stuff. Okay, let's now try to save it. Okay, now I think things are looking fine to me. I can see a cross action. I can see the stop icon just like the standard one. If I click on save, I can see the stop action, I can see the cross action, and I can see the error message as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the action to this cross. Okay, so that what happens is if I add the action to the cross, it should close down, right? If I close on this, it should close down. So for that purpose, we have this button called as, where it is, handle dialog. Let's close it, handle, let's name it as handle dialog. And inside this handle dialog, I'm going to do one more thing. Okay, so I'm just going to copy paste this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable which is going to enclose the whole thing. Okay, just the section part. So I'm going to enclose the whole section part over here. Template, if true, hide section. Let's name it as hide section. And I'm gonna close it over here. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable named as hide section. Why am I doing it? I can also use the is error message itself, but you will understand it sooner. Okay, I'm going to use a hide section variable. Let's keep it as, initially let's keep it as true. Okay, let's keep it as, yeah, let's keep it as true at the start itself. Now what I'm going to do is using this variable. So let's say if this variable, if I was already seeing this particular section, if it is already visible to me, then if it is already visible to me, then just make this section as, if I click on cross, just make it as false, else keep it visible, right? This dot hide section equals to true. Let's try and deploy it, and let's see whether it's working or not. Let's click on save. There's an error message. That's why I'm seeing an error. If I click on cross, it goes away. But just to come back, I need a button at over here as well, right? I need a button in order to, when I click on this button, I should be able to do that. So now the video is getting a bit longer. So what we are going to do is we are going to add the button over here. As my name is Salesforce in 5 minutes, I need to keep the video short, right? But actually I think so it's a very long video. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that icon over here, just like the cross one. If I click on it, I should be able to see the error message. Till this point, we will just seeing any random error message. But in the next video, we will add the icon over here, and also along with that icon, I'm going to show the customized error message, that whatever I get, like phone can't be blank, or even the standard validation or custom validations. But if you found this video helpful, I request you to please, first of all, let me just, I'll copy paste this code in the description so that you don't need to hassle so much, but you just need to watch the video what I'm doing where. So to do that, okay. But if you really like my videos, I request you to please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.